talent isn't enough to be successful. You have to work constantly. And the best players I played with, who people would think were born talented, they were the ones that practiced and practiced and practiced, and they stayed after training. They worked at their skills. People like Frank Lampard, people like David Beckham, continually practicing free kicks after training. And so it was no fluke when they scored goals in the last minute or they scored goals at important times, because they'd had that dedication for years and years and years. Well, the most talented player I played with, there were probably two that stand out. Paul Gascoigne, when I first got in the England squad, and then Paul Scholes. I just felt that Scholes and Gascoigne could do things that nobody else could do. Gascoigne in particular was probably the only player that we've produced over the 20 years who could do everything. You know, could pass any distance, could score goals, could tackle, could run with the ball, beat players. It's no coincidence that the two semi-finals that we got to in major tournaments, in Italia 90, Euro 96, he was the central part of the team, and I think when you have an outstanding player like him, it has a big effect on the whole squad. I think if I had the choice to manage one team, the ultimate has to be to manage England. But I think you'd have to think very seriously about whether you really wanted everything that goes with it. Well, I think having England at 20-1 on WilliamHill.com for the World Cup in Brazil is a fair price. But I think we have to see how England develop as a team over the next couple of years. But now might be the time to get the money on, because I'm sure those odds, once we get closer to qualifying, will be cut. Worst nickname I've ever had. When I was at Crystal Palace, they used to call me Nord, after Dennis Norden, and that stuck with me for about 7 or 8 years. Most ridiculous purchase I've made when I was at Crystal Palace, I just used to get ripped for my clothes, and I remember Chris Powell, who's now manager of Charlton, dancing in a pair of shoes that I bought because they were just so horrific. For quite a while I used to eat peanut butter and banana sandwiches as my pre-match meal, because I just thought that was, you know, brought me luck and got me focused on the games. Probably my worst performance, we scraped a draw on a real mud heap of a pitch, and I gave away a penalty in the last 2 minutes. And actually I should have given away another penalty 5 minutes before that. So I remember there just been, on Match of the Day, a big close-up of me covered in mud, just looking my age and deciding I've not got much longer left in this game. My guilty pleasure is chocolate. It will be no surprise to people that my most hated training drill was taking penalties. Well, my most embarrassing moment is Euro 96 and missing the penalty. When you've been the one person that, in the end, is the one responsible for getting your team knocked out, it doesn't get much more embarrassing than that. The household chore my wife would make me do is actually quite simple: filling the dishwasher. I'm pretty hopeless around the home, but the one thing I'm better at is getting all the plates and things in the right order. All my life, my career's been planned. Playing, I always wanted to play for England. Then managing, I wanted to take the team to a certain level. And this is the first time in my life where I haven't a clue where I'll be in 5 years' time. Roy Keane or Adrian Charles? That is the easiest question ever, because nobody who wanted to survive would ever say Adrian Charles.